Wow, I am so thrilled to welcome to this show, seriously, Jacques Roy. His book, Don't Quit, Don't Cry, After 25,000 Weekends. He has done so many incredible things. He has been to so many places, the front row of history, trying to help. His story is absolutely mind-blowing. I don't want to eat up any more time talking about it. I'm going to get to him. But we welcome him to Author's Corner here on America Tonight with me, Kate Delaney. Jacques, thanks so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
So you're in Quebec City. You've got this book that just, oh my gosh, the people that you've touched and met and the things that you've seen, like I said, the front row to history. What made you decide to write this book?
Ask the question, how may I help you? And that's what I did. And they had a lot of need. And my job was to mobilize and also educate the Canadian public that if you're drinking a certain type of coffee, that's being picked by slaves, and that's not allowed.
So let's talk about what you did and your connection, South Africa, and oh my gosh, you speak fluent Swahili and the front row to history. Like, first of all, here's a good place to jump in for people listening. You'll find all of this in Jacques' book, but here you were, and you met the president and founder of the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola. And when we think of Angola, and we've seen movies, and we see how frightening things are there and were there, tell us about that connection.
Well, I knew of him because I had read in Time magazine, February 10th, 1961, Dr. Neto. And the fact that a general who was delivering by boat some thousands of soldiers to the war in Angola, the general there said, "No, we're not going to fight in Angola. It's not right." And on in Time magazine, I had a photograph of that. And on top of that was the U.S. aircraft saying they were on the high seas for nine days. So now the whole idea is that this became information. What is Angola? When you look at it, the people who were there were for slavery only. And then once I saw that, I said, okay. So then I finished my schooling as a radio guy, and I went to Tanzania. And then I met Dr. Neto. It was very quick. I said, Mr. Please, yeah, I know who you are. I really want to help you. So how may I help you? And that's when he said, here's what we need. So we got that done. And then later on, he says, I want to invite you to come to Angola. Because in my mind, Angola was to become the second Vietnam. But here's a real issue. I have a mother who is a wonderful lady. And then I was disappearing probably for 3 months. So I had to make sure she wasn't going to be worried about me. So what I did, this is for creativity. I wrote a whole bunch of letters ahead of time, different inks, different subjects. But the basic thing is, I'm still single. I drive my motorcycle every day. I go to the beach. I gave this pile of letters to my buddy of mine. I said, listen, just one in the mailbox every week.
Wow.
So she got her letter, but, within a few days, we not scrapped to teach. Well, Interpol got involved. Hey, we obviously have somebody who's been kidnapped. So the RCMP, what can I teach her? So they showed up at my mom's house. So my mom was very happy with that. Much later, I explained to her why. But that's how you do it. You got to do it to make sure you can continue.
Yeah, no kidding. And and throughout this, I mean, it's very much you created a spy unit. I think of South Africa and the missions, and you say it's just like you're James Bond or Indiana Jones, but seriously, you even had a run-in with the Nazis. Tell us about the run-in with the Nazis.
Well, they want to know what the hell we were doing there. And because, Colleen, we had rehearsed and gone over the scenarios and said, we had a marriage contract. That would be the reason why we were on our honeymoon. And we know nothing was happening down there, right? And Colleen is gorgeous. And with her, one of the things that she brought to us, she had a lazy eye. So this eye would wander. So you never want to look at her. But she could look away and know where to listen. So she could look around, what's happening. Because we always have to protect the unit. And so when we got married, we did it there. So the second time we were stopped by the Nazis, I said, honeymoon. Oh, wow. My wife would love to meet you folks. So we were caught. We had to go to this guy's house to have a meal with them. So Paulie and I held each other's hands, at the dinner. Yeah, we like it down here. Would you move here? I said, well, we're still thinking about that. Just any kind of answer so that we can do our work, right? And we recruited a lot of young people who said it's going to be just a race war here, and we have to stop that. So we took their names down and their contact. So we got back to Zambia, where Tabo was. We gave them a whole list of people who were willing to join the ANC.
Wow. And you look at the ANC, and then you look at, so much is running through my head, and I'm sure with everybody else who gets this book, which you can get on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever great books are sold. Yeah. It's called Don't Quit, Don't Cry After 25,000 Weekends. And you know what? You think blood diamonds, and you think the Civil War and all of that mixed in, follow that. Tell us more about the situation and how frightening it was.
Oh, it was never frightening because we had everything organized. And the clothing we wore and the speech we had, everything was sort of very, very, like when we got married, the guy said, what do you want? We said, tickets to go home. So we went up to another department, and the guy, what's your name? Jacques Roy. I said, yeah. And what's her name? It's Mrs. Roy. I said, no. In Canada, we have a custom. That's where you So we gave us 2 tickets separate, and then we went on. And then whenever we were in Zambia, we were always in a protected society. I think there was a September family. That's where people would come to visit with us. But the people in Canada, the Canadians who were there, the teachers or whatever, they didn't know what we were doing there because we stayed off the streets. So the whole idea is have to follow the instructions of people who are being oppressed. And remember, in 1866, the British, what they call Great Britain, made a deal with Portugal to export, to set up the tobacco industry and the cotton industry in the USA. They exported 8 million Angolan slaves to America to start up these factories. Can you imagine?
Mm.
It's so unbelievable. And the Angolans themselves, once they get to know their own history, remember that 99% illiterate, it takes a long time to build up literacy. Even today, they have no trace of their own families, because that was not in the Portuguese way of doing things. They wanted to make sure you are always isolated. So at age 3, you were taken away from your mother, and as a girl, put into a slave camp for girls, and at 3, a boy put in a slave camp for boys.
Wow.
So this is what we do. Yeah. It's so unbelievable what they live. And that's what touched me all the time. So working with them was quite easy, because they were always surprised at people, because we had people to go to work there. Like my kid brother went to work with the Angola in the war zone of Angola. He's a mechanic teacher. And then we teaching mechanics. Because they were Angola, the only point people they knew were people who were coming to hit them. Right? Or the church would tell them, you're not worthy to be Christians, and whack them. And so violence against the Africans is so prominent. And then, of course, what happened with on the plantations in America, was slavery continued. And that was put to rest with the Civil War.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Wow.
I've lived some incredible situations, but you breathe, you say, okay, how can I make this a little better tomorrow? And that, because even Colleen, I called her on her birthday, and she won't talk very long because she still has such a hard time at the account.
Right.
And for the character, we would not and even tabloids face to face. If this guy dies, I'll take you out of my wife. She's a gorgeous woman and smart. I mean, what else do you want from a woman?
Yeah, exactly. So, Jacques, we have 1 minute left. Tell everybody what you hope they take away from reading your book. What do you hope?
Oh, you have to do more, because we're going to live through an incredible crash in the economy, and we're going to have to be creative on how to repair the new words, with words especially. You talk to people, be kind, say good morning to people, and start creating cultural health, cooperatives of food production, and schools.
Wow.
It dropped into America when there were 13 states to produce tobacco and cotton for the industries in England. You can see the injustice. And so when you say good morning to people, they'll good morning to you. So the idea is to read the book, make notes of it, and then use it as a working tool. And when I get on a lecture tour, I'll go into colleges or universities to explain to them, it's for you to say, how may I help you?
Yes. What a perfect place to end this. Jacques R, thank you so much.
Thank you.